Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. NHK reports that U.S. President Donald Trump has announced an extension of the ceasefire deadline with Iran. The announcement was made suddenly on Tuesday afternoon, despite his earlier statements indicating an intention to adhere to the original Wednesday deadline. According to Trump's social media posts, the truce will be extended until Iranian leaders and representatives can present a unified proposal and discussions are concluded. He also confirmed directing the military to maintain a blockade on Iran. Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Army Chief Ehsan Munir reportedly asked Trump to defer military action, and Sharif later thanked Trump for accepting this request, expressing hope for a comprehensive peace deal during a second round of talks in Islamabad. However, Iran's Tasnim news agency stated that Tehran did not request an extension. Separately, Trump commented on the U.S. forces' seizure of an Iranian-flagged cargo ship, They Tuskal, claiming it carried not very nice items, which he called a gift from China. Reuters, citing maritime security sources, reported the ship likely carried dual-use items potentially for military use, and satellite data showed it loaded containers in China and Malaysia. Genuine Net reports that the anticipated second round of peace talks between the United States and Iran has stalled, as Iran reportedly decided not to participate, accusing the U.S. of violating the ceasefire. U.S. President Donald Trump announced an extension of the two-week truce, which was set to expire, but stated the U.S. military would continue its blockade against Iran. Iran's semi-official Tasnim news agency confirmed Tehran's definitive decision to sit out the talks, citing the U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports as a ceasefire violation. Iran's foreign ministry also noted contradictory messages from Washington. Meanwhile, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance's trip to Pakistan, the main mediator, was put on hold. Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif thanked Trump for extending the ceasefire and pledged continued efforts toward a negotiated settlement, urging both sides to pursue dialogue. Indonesia's National Commission on Human Rights, known as Komnas HAM, has announced it is investigating the deaths of 12 West Papuan civilians, including women and children, who were killed during a military operation in Kembu District, Poncak Regency, Central Papua. The commission strongly stated that any military operation resulting in civilian casualties cannot be justified on any grounds. Dozens of other civilians reportedly sustained serious injuries. The Indonesian military claims its forces engaged in an armed exchange and killed 4 Papuan pro-independence militants, but the West Papuan National Liberation Army denies any such exchange occurred in Kembu. Komnas HAM has urged the head of the Indonesian military to investigate the incident and called for restraint from all parties. The commission also implored the Indonesian national and Papuan regional governments to ensure measures are in place to protect civilians, provide care for the injured, and recover the bodies of those killed, noting the potential for mass displacement of villagers impacted by the operation. This report is from RNZ. CBS News reports that a significant leadership change is underway at Apple. On Monday, CEO Tim Cook announced his decision to step down from his position. Following this announcement, John Ternus, a mechanical engineer, is preparing to assume the role of Apple's chief executive. Joe Ling Kent provided the report, highlighting Ternus's background as the company prepares for this transition. The article emphasizes Ternus's readiness to take the wheel of the prominent technology company, marking a new chapter for Apple's leadership. The report does not detail the reasons behind Cook's resignation. Al Jazeera reports that Paraguay has agreed to accept an initial group of 25 Spanish-speaking non-citizen deportees from the United States. This move is part of President Donald Trump's broader mass deportation and third country deportation strategy, which involves the U.S. sending migrants to nations with which they have no prior ties. The Trump administration has entered into multi-million-dollar agreements with various foreign countries, including Costa Rica, El Salvador, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Eswatini, and South Sudan, as incentives to take in deportees. U.S. Democratic lawmakers estimate over $40 million has already been awarded. While a U.S. embassy official in Paraguay lauded the agreement and stated these migrants do not have pending asylum claims, advocacy groups raise serious human rights concerns. Critics highlight the instability of some designated third countries, such as South Sudan and the DRC, which face ongoing conflict and displacement crises. Legal organizations in Uganda are also challenging similar deportations, calling the process undignified, harrowing, and dehumanizing. The Associated Press previously reported that the Trump administration is seeking agreements with 47 additional countries. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.